In Part 2 of Lesson 6, we will be learning all about the infinitive of a verb. This will help us determine the types and groups of verbs, whether it is regular, irregular, and also what its conjugation is. Let's begin by making sure we understand that the infinitive is the key and where we can find it. You will find it on a vocabulary list or on any dictionary. When you are looking at a vocabulary list or a dictionary verb entry, what you're going to notice is that all verbs are listed with either 3 or 4 forms. These are known as principal parts. Principal parts are used to form verb tenses or are themselves a specific form of a verb tense. Take, for example, the first principal part, which is just the first word. It is the first person singular, or the I form of the present tense. That means if I want to say I am, I would write sum. If I want to say I am destroying, I would write deleo. If I want to say I find, I would write invenio. The infinitive of a Latin verb is its second principal part, which is just the second word on the list. The infinitive does not have a subject. Its translation is the translation that is given on the vocabulary list for the verb. So you know what an infinitive is in English because you can see the infinitive translation on the Latin vocabulary list. If you look at each of the verbs, you'll notice that most of them end with the two letters RE. If you look further in front of the RE, you should notice that there is a vowel. A, I, or E. Those three letters, ARE, IRE, and ERE, make the infinitive ending. Whenever you have a verb that has an infinitive ending on it, ARE, ERE, or IRE, you have found a regular verb. If a verb has an infinitive that does not end with one of the infinitive endings, ARE, ERE, or IRE, like essa, then you have found an irregular verb. The infinitive is also the key for helping us to determine the conjugation or group that a regular verb belongs to. Remember that the infinitive is the second principal part. If the infinitive ending is ARE, you have found a first conjugation verb. If the infinitive ending is IRE, you have found a fourth conjugation verb. All of the other verbs end with ERE. This means that they can be either second or third conjugation. To know which, look at the first principal part. EO plus ERE is second conjugation. If you have just an O followed by ERE, it is third conjugation. And if you see IO followed by ERE, you are looking at a third IO verb. The infinitive is also the key for helping us to determine what the base is for writing all present, imperfect, and future tense verbs. To get the base, you will need to remove the infinitive ending, which is the ARE. The letters left over, VOC, are the base. When you remove the IRE, INVEN is what's left, the base. And so on down the list. Finding the base of a verb is not difficult if you understand where the infinitive is. What does this mean for you now It means that you can now write a verb in Latin. That's what we'll be looking at next. But first, let's answer a few questions about the infinitive.